Israel reportedly carrying out 2 airstrikes in Syria targeting former Syrian government forces as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visits IDF troops in the Golan Heights, which is inside the buffer zone between Israel and Syria. Netanyahu says the IDF will remain there, right there within that zone, until an arrangement is found that guarantees Israel's security. All of this playing out in the aftermath of the overthrow of Bashar al-Assad's brutal regime in Syria. Foreign correspondent Marcus Moore joins us now with more. So, Marcus, Netanyahu's leaving this pretty open-ended. You think Israel will be operating in Syria for a while now?
As you just reported on, Netanyahu has indicated that Israeli forces, they'll be in that buffer zone for a while, perhaps for the foreseeable future. And this is a move, he says, that, quote, ensures Israel's security. And what else is notable about this is where he made the comments. He was at a mountain peak well inside Syria, about 6 miles from the border with the Golan Heights. Many around the world have criticized Israel for occupying this buffer zone, which was established as part of a 1974 ceasefire agreement. And people are saying that Israel is trying to seize on the chaos following Bashar al-Assad's ousting.
He went there to, that was image. That's sort of like when the astronauts go to the moon, they plant the flag. He did everything but plant an Israeli flag. The Israeli prime minister went there, stood there as the symbol of Israel and said, "This is ours. We're gonna stay here." Right. Once the general come down to the battleground and put up camp and they eat there and got tents, it's theirs now. That was a political statement that we just seen with him going there to a high mountaintop in the Golan Heights.
So, Kira, it remains to be seen how long this goes, but all indications are that Israeli troops will be there for a while as condemnation grows. Kira.
So CIA Director Bill Burns is in Qatar now trying to negotiate the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Do you know anything more?
We don't. We know that he's there, but just how much progress is or isn't being made is unclear at this point. We know that there has been some agreement on issues anytime the negotiators have been around the table, but there's also been significant distance on other sticking points, but we don't know exact details at this point. And Kira, as they meet in Qatar, the bombardment continues in Gaza. In fact, the director of the Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza says this has been the darkest day there since this war began, saying that the hospital came under attack as warplanes targeted buildings in the area. The Dr. Hassan Abu Safia says that tank shells hit the intensive care unit, starting a fire there. And that
intensive care unit with babies and other people that can't get them out of there.
Patients had to be evacuated. And so a lot is still happening in Gaza. What role it will have on the ceasefire negotiations remains to be seen. But Kira, as you know, a lot of people are hoping that the fighting will stop so that
everybody hoping that the fire will stop. Look at this. These people going through it. The only hope, now we got the CIA director involved. The only hope is after January 20th, around the next week, let's say January 25th and on, Trump get all these reports for the CIA director, get all these things he was missing, these little bits and pieces, and get really into detail and say, oh, so Netanyahu in the way of progress. Netanyahu is in the way of me being able to say, I stop Biden wars. I stop Israel and Gaza, and I stop Ukraine, Russia. The American people can now focus on getting out these illegal aliens, and basically it's almost like an age of isolationism like China did. Like, we need to put up the walls and say, no, we're not policing the world. We got our own problems. Let us help ourselves before we turn around and help everybody else, because we're going to help everybody else. America is a melting pot. Trump had a lot of Muslim support. He has a lot of Muslim support. He has a lot of people that expect him, a lot of common sense, decent people expected him to say, look, don't take a side. You can support Israel all you want and still condemn Netanyahu. That's what I think is going to happen. Let me know what you think, Cave Dwellers.